Welcome to Mornings with Patricia. Happy Wednesday. So, I just got back from Sacred Space where we did a group hypno, or I did a group hypno on new moon. So tonight is the new moon, and it's time of new beginnings and new wonderful things coming in to our lives and setting those intentions. And I got thinking today, Karayini, uh, or Augie as I call her, posted on her Facebook about this. I can't remember the name of it right now. It's it's like an NGO anyway in India, and it was this guy who had this vision because in certain places, there's these red light districts, and the children have HIV, and the moms, there's prostitution and the sex trade, and so it's they're at risk, and having to lie on the streets with HIV, and just it's just like all over the world, right? Miserable conditions like that, and this guy had a vision, and I want to say it was in the 80s or so, or maybe 90s, but anyway, he didn't do it alone, but he had the vision and the intention, and they have hospital and schools, and I mean, and these kids are growing up, and the women are, and they're getting, they're getting the medical care, and they're getting the emotional care, and they're getting, the social interaction. And I mean, you can think, just like I could have, just tons of people who have had a vision and started through that vision to help others in such a big way. And I think it comes down to, because I hear people say a lot, oh, I want, I want, I want, and it's absolutely okay to want, and receive. But the universe is based on the law of reciprocity. So this is how I start my mornings. Of course, I say, in my head sometimes, and sometimes out loud, oh my God, I love myself. Um, but, I also take a moment and say, how can I be of service today? Show me how I can be of service today. And I never know what that's really going to look like. It might be, somebody I know, it might be people I don't know. But, I have a willing heart. And so I start off my day about thinking, letting the universe know how to be, I would like to be in service. So if you start your day with that intention, open yourself up to the universal law of reciprocity, then you're not doing it because you want to receive something. It's just your heart gets so big. And all things seem possible. And they are possible, and they become possible, and amazing things happen because you're open to the universe. You say, look, here I am, here I am. Let me be of service today. How can I help? And the other thing it does is it takes attention off yourself, right? So if you're worried about anything or those sorts of things, it takes attention off that, and it allows you to stay heart-centered and focused. And because really, we come here to this planet to love, and and um, and to live in acts of love, right? Letting our living itself be an act of love. So I don't know, but I wonder what you will notice as you open yourself up with your heart and your intention, and maybe there's something you've always wanted to do to help others, and you see a need, and you wanted to help. You know what the cool thing about that is? With the internet now, with Facebook, with all the social media, you can put your thoughts out there, and I'll bet you there will be other people that are thinking the same thing. And so you don't have to do it alone. What if more people did that? Can you imagine the how we could help, our country, the world, just through that acts of kindness, right? Working within the law of reciprocity, giving back, as the Earth Mother gives birth to all these wonderful things around us, we bless her, and we bless our sisters and brothers, soul sister and brothers, and help to give back. And there's something else that happens. Excuse me. There's something else that happens when you begin to do that, when you begin to open that energy. It's your world, if it has felt small, will absolutely seem huge. So it's really interesting. We have been in Oregon since, excuse me, 1995. And it's really funny because I'm not born. I wasn't born in Oregon, but I just feel like this has always been my home. I feel very comfortable here. But, Salem is pretty, it's not huge. It's huge in some ways, but I'm very interactive, right? And I know a lot of people because I'm very interactive and I reach out and I like to do things. And so Bruce, my husband, teases me about it, but the boys have always teased me about it too. We'd go out for a day of whatever. I'd be walking down the street, and it'd be this obscure place in Salem, and all of a sudden, boom, hi, blah blah blah, and. So if I don't see somebody I know, I'm starting that conversation with strangers, getting to know more people. I love that. I love people. I just It's so wonderful to have human connection, and so like, wow, this is great, to wake up every morning and you just don't know what's going to happen. You get to be of service, you get to meet other people, and I don't know, my heart is really full when those things happen, amazingly full. I'm watching, maybe you hear it, I'm watching the leaves in the wind. It's just so meditative, isn't it? Whew. Yeah, I can just lose myself and stuff like that. In fact, I'm gonna just do an aside here. I like to sit out sometimes when I can just listen to the wind and the trees rustle, the leaves, and allow that to be my meditation as it flows through me over and over, just blowing away anything I don't need, cleansing me out. So, you know, and again, I just can't say it enough. Starting your day with some sort of a meditative practice, and it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be stiff. It doesn't have to be, you know, so rigid, right? But just some quiet time, and to allow yourself to open. And, in the evenings, that's a nice thing to do too, because, you're closing your day before you go into dream time. So, you started your day with intention. You started it asking, right? How can I be of service? So then you end your day, right? In some sort of meditative practice, and you bless the day, and you thank the universe for, allowing you to be on this planet and show up and do your wonderful work, wonderful soul work, right? Sometimes I think people are miserable because they're so self-focused. And of course the work here is important, to work on yourself. It most certainly is. But, sometimes you got to get out of yourself. I always tell my students, it's not all about you. And then I tell them, until it is, right? It's not all about you, and yet it is all about you. Right? So finding that balance and understanding the difference when I say something like that. Right? It's not all about you, getting outside of yourself and focusing, because that, by the way, that lifts your energy vibration, lifts your spirits. Really, if you need something to lift you, get out of yourself and focus on people outside you, because it feeds your soul energy, raises your vibrations. And it is all about you, right? Because this is your incarnation. You chose to come here. You have specific things you're working on, specific experiences. So of course it is all about you. But I think I just was really hit, and I tonight or today when I saw that video about India and the work they're doing there, and then being a new moon with that new moon energy, I can really feel it. It's energetically so different. New moons are so different, and to me so exciting, because it's like, ooh, the beginning of things. And of course, and we'll see. I go for my interview tomorrow morning, and for a job, and that I'm just really excited about. So we'll see. We'll see if that's my new beginning. Uh, and I'm grateful, grateful, grateful. Gratitude for this life, and grateful for the day, and grateful for you. So, this one's a little shorter tonight, and just seeing you on your Wednesday, finding all sorts of wonderful opportunities to give of your blessed self, um, to people you know and to people you don't know. And remember, the way you can give yourself is not always something you've got to go do. It could be a smile at just the right time, right? Eye contact at just the right time. Being a good listener, right? When people need to talk, being a good listener. A friend of mine said to me the other day, Patricia, one of the things I appreciate about you is you listen with your eyes. And I thought, I'd never thought about that. But, when I am listening to people, I am looking, and I'm listening with my whole self, my whole body. It's important. It's important to be present and to be there for ourselves and for each other. So I love you. And 1, 2, 3. Oh my God! I love myself. I love you. Thanks so much for watching Mornings with Patricia and for sharing the video. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a wild, wonderful Wednesday.